All right, welcome everybody. Today is Thursday, June 12th, 2025, and we're going to be taking a look at the usual, the Magnificent Seven, as well as the stock market indices. So starting off with the S&P 500 here, as you could see, the past week or so, ever since coming close to that 200-day moving average here, we've kind of just haven't really looked back. But our BX trender is kind of giving us some warning signs. And like I did mention on Sunday, we're very close to all-time highs here. I would be very surprised if we didn't make an all-time high and then come back down. Maybe to fill the rest of this gap. Shit, maybe even this one. Who the hell knows? But I think that we're probably going to make an all-time high across the board with the indices. I'm talking SPY, QQQ, and probably the Dow Jones as well. Dow Jones is a little bit further, as you could see. SPY and QQQ are basically right there. Like, literally, QQQ is like 4 points away. So, it's just been remarkable, honestly, like how quickly this has recovered. It's just been the craziest thing ever. But you could see, the SPY and the Qs, the daily BX is a little bit different. So the Qs being more tech heavy is kind of giving us a warning sign here. So, just seeing that kind of makes me a little nervous. But when we go to the weekly chart, it's still perfectly fine. So, when even the 1 hour, if you turn extended hours off, of course, the 1 hour BX you could use to kind of like swing trade. And you'll see, even the 1 hour, it flipped red, on Wednesday. So, just something to keep an eye on, because we have to manage our risk here, because literally it's just been such a run this last couple months. And I'm having a rough week myself. I gave back like close to $5,000 this week in losses, but it was just over trading really and just stupid shit. Like for example, I had Tesla Q literally at the low at like $17, and I kept looking, too zoomed in, and it kind of changed my bias, and it all happened. It happens to everybody. So I'm probably not going to trade tomorrow. I'm not really in the best state of mind right now as far as making decisions. So I need some reset time, because I did have to give back a couple gains that I did make last week, which sucks, because just position sizing and overconfidence and not sticking to my system, because I tend to. How do you get that line graph on your volume chart? What plugin is that? This isn't a volume chart. This is our BX trender. We've been using this I've been using this for over a year now, back testing with different time frames and different strategies, and you could see, I was able to call a bottom publicly on Tesla stock, for example, right here at the end of March, when we started to see the BX trender forming higher lows. Yeah, no, you're not interrupting. It's basically just measures buying and selling pressure. Same boat on Apple. Yeah, bro. I with Apple too, I took a fat L on Apple because I went heavy size. It's important. It's really important to reset like that. So, Fujio, basically, it just measures buying and selling pressure. So if you look, Tesla weekly chart is now forming a higher low last week and a higher high. Lower high last week, which was a warning sign. Now we're good so far. But daily, still trying to recover. So, similar situation for both of these, right? Close to all-time highs. We don't want to chase, but we have to acknowledge, these gaps below and how quickly we've recovered. I do think we'll make an all-time high and then come back down. But Only time will tell, guys. Yes, so when you can use the 1 hour, you could use the daily. When the daily flips green, you could take a long. As you can see, this goes back. You can go back years with this. I mean, it's just the hardest thing is discipline and actually sitting there and waiting. That's the hardest part. So, Fujil, if you haven't seen any of my streams, just go to, I'll send it to you. It's hashtag record lectures, and all of my streams are on there. You can go see what I was saying back in March when everybody was panicking and, saying Tesla was going to 110, 150, blah, blah, blah. So it really helps during that time of fear and uncertainty. So let's get into the Magnificent Seven. Like I just mentioned with Tesla, we are in a downward trend, right? Oh, sorry. Where the hell is my highlighter? There it is. Downward trend inside of a larger bullish trend inside of a gigantic bullish trend, right? So right now, it's all about time frame, guys. It's all about time frame. You got to know, your time frame and what we're looking at. So again, for the daily chart, we face some resistance here up in the 330s. We tested it again today and had a nice sell-off, which I should have profited from, but I flipped my bias and ended up taking losses on it because, the mind is a very tricky thing and it can get to you. So it's very important that you're level-headed. So Tesla looking okay. Definitely looking better than a few days ago, but, we want to see the weekly BX closed nicely tomorrow. We don't know if that's going to happen yet, but we'll see. NVIDIA. Looking, I'm just praying that this is not a head and shoulders pattern, but that's just like technical analysis. There's so much more that goes into NVIDIA. They're literally printing billions of dollars. But anyway, weekly chart on NVIDIA is very strong, as you could see. Higher lows, higher highs for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 consecutive weeks on NVIDIA. So this is definitely good to see for NVIDIA. But on the daily, kind of similar to the Qs, right? When you look at the QQQ and the SPY, price is going higher. And the BX is just kind of like, doesn't really know. Doesn't, it's kind of getting some sellers, but it's not giving us any indication of extreme buying pressure. And it makes sense, right? When you have a 60% rally in a month, not everybody's going to be chasing. But there is a lot of money on the sidelines, I will say that. So NVIDIA, again, looks very similar to the Qs. Very close to an all-time high up at 153 or 152. So it's pretty close. It's going to probably get there, Even the monthly chart is starting to make higher lows. So NVIDIA long-term is probably going to rocket 200 and above. But like AMD, for example, AMD's got a 300 billion market cap. Correct me if I'm wrong. So there's a lot of upside for AMD. I've been saying it for weeks. But yeah, let's take a look at Apple, which we took a fat L on this week because position sizing and just being, not trimming when I had it, because I was basically accumulating at the bottom of this range here for the past week or so. And then I had gains up at 204 at 205, didn't take them, and that's what happens, guys, anyone who thinks trading is easy or perfect, it's literally the hardest thing in the world. One of the hardest things in the world. And I stand by that till the day I die. You literally have to master yourself in order to conquer this. Because shit like this, where, you're up a couple points, you don't trim any, and it happens. comes right back down and stops you out for a loss. But as you can see on Apple, daily chart, not looking the best now. Definitely not looking the best. So, weekly is still okay. One thing that does concern me, and I'm waiting a little bit longer now to see when Apple on the monthly chart starts to form a higher low here. So you could see it did it very quickly. It didn't give you a lot of time back in March of last year. Gave you maybe a couple weeks and it just ripped to all-time highs. Here, kind of just downtrend, 2022, all the way down to 120 lows. Monthly BX starts to curl. So this is what we're going to wait for on Apple as well. The weekly is still okay. So I do still expect Apple to test this 200-day moving average at some point in the coming month or two. But, there's a lot of things going on right now. We got to get this trade deal done with China and just move on. So Meta has been absolutely ripping, and now it's kind of just taking a breather again, which is fine. Still a gap here on Meta, just keep that in mind. So, again, it could make an all-time high, come back down like the Qs, like I'm kind of predicting, but we'll see what happens. So Meta, daily chart, not so good. Weekly chart, very, very similar to NVIDIA, QQQ. You guys get the picture here, right? What's up, Orion? What's up, Tokus? Hope you're doing good, bro. Like I was saying, I took a couple L's this week, gave back some gains. So, you're not alone. Just because I'm sitting here showing you guys and helping you guys doesn't mean, I'm a fucking god, okay? Because I'm as transparent as can be. Gave back over $5,000 this week, which sucks, but it's part of it, right, EC? Yeah. And the most important thing, just got to be level-headed, keep moving forward. Can't revenge trade, got to wait for the setups. Whether it's the 1 hour BX flip or the daily BX flip, you got to stick to your system. Got to stick to it. Because when your mind starts to take over, you do stupid shit. It doesn't matter if you're a professional. I know professional traders that still make the stupidest mistakes. It's literally you versus yourself. And I say that all the time. Yeah, Jackals, we've all been there. Taking a big loss and then trading, trying to get it back. Tony Soprano. Yeah, so again, this is why 90 to 95% of traders / investors fail or lose money. Because a lot of people, I'm speaking in my generation, I'm 26 years old, and a lot of people around my age, even especially younger, they really lack discipline and they lack, the mental strength to keep going and keep finding purpose and improving. So continuing on to Google. Google's looking okay. I mean, I said last week this was going to set up and make a new high, and it did. And now it's just taking a breather. So weekly chart still okay. Google's kind of far from the all-time high. It's about 30 points away. So just keep that in mind. The monthly is starting to curl, which is good. So yeah, Google looking okay. Just need to give it some time. 1 hour BX is red. So just keep that in mind for shorter term. As you guys can see. So yeah, Google's looking okay. Definitely looking better than Apple right now. Amazon had a nice breakout at the beginning of the week. Then sellers came in. Again, we have a gap around here, 195 to 200 level. Just keep that in mind, guys. The 200 MA on Amazon is right here at 202.96. Currently rising daily. But the daily BX is about to flip red on Amazon. So, we'll see what happens. We will see. Weekly is still okay. Similar situation to Google, about 30 points from the all-time high. Monthly is starting to curl. And yeah. Let's get into Microsoft here, because this has just been absolutely ridiculous. And I'll be the first one to say I was wrong on Microsoft after it did gap up, because obviously the BX trender is not 100% accurate. It's accurate about 60 to 70% of the time. But you could see the buying pressure faded, yet the selling wasn't enough to bring the price down. And now Microsoft made a new all-time high. It's just an absolute monster. Absolute, have you guys, just look at this. This is absolutely nuts. And it's just not even looking back. I mean, I do expect it to come down at some point. Obviously, don't chase Microsoft here. But, this is just, really. This is insane. Insane, guys. So, yeah, Microsoft looking really good. The monthly just flipped green, which is crazy. Just a monster stock, really. Do you guys have anything specific you want me to take a look at? So the long run Apple now, my problem, right? The weekly is okay. The thing is, the daily is still red here, right? So we want to keep an eye on that, and we want to keep an eye on the 1 hour. So the 1 hour just flipped, which is technically you could swing this if you want. If you want to swing on the 1 hour BX, you could technically take this long and then set a stop at break even, and then when it does flip red, that's when you take profit. Or you trim half and then leave the rest. Apple says the release of delayed Siri Air upgrade will be in spring 2026. Yeah, so obviously Apple has innovation concerns, which is the number one reason why it sold off after the WDC, right? Because a company with how much cash do they have? It's literally I don't even know how much cash they have. Let's see. You look at the, obviously the iPhone is what drives Apple, but the services are really increasing. If you guys look at the services on Apple since 2018, they've tripled. So, where's the cash? I know Apple's got a lot of cash. I don't know why they don't show me the balance sheet on here. Where's the balance sheet? I think they have $200-300 billion in cash. It literally as much as Berkshire, almost. So, yes, they have to pivot to AI, right? Apple has to take the step towards. Yeah, that's the thing. They have so much cash now that they should be investing into GPUs and taking that pivot, to Apple Intelligence fully. But right now we're not seeing it yet, which is scaring investors, obviously. When you have Meta and Tesla and, Google and Nvidia and even Amazon and Microsoft, all of them are, all of them are putting billions of dollars. Tesla is gathering billions of miles of driving data every day. You know? So, yeah, I agree. Their presentation was a little lackluster. But again, if you want to take the swing here on the long, just stick to the 1 hour, right? So you trim half, you could take some off, and then leave the rest for when the BX flips red. But Berkshire, let's take a look at Berkshire. So 1 hour similar is now red. You could play this for a swing. Daily is still, I mean, this was perfectly healthy. I mean, perfectly healthy, in my opinion. Coming right back to the 200 MA. I mean, EC, if you're waiting for a Berkshire entry, I mean, historically, you go back. Let's go back. How many years you want to go back? You look at the 200 daily moving average, and historically, it's a great time to buy Berkshire. And I said a month ago, Berkshire was destroying the SPY and everything else. So allow it some breathing room. And here it comes. Right back into the 200-day moving average. So if you want to own Berkshire long term, I mean, it's rarely gone to the weekly 200 moving average. In 2020, for COVID, it went to it. But I don't expect it to test this 200-day weekly moving average for a long time, if ever. So if you're going to start a position long-term on Berkshire, I would definitely start now near this 200-day moving average. What's your favorite Mag 7 right now? I mean, obviously Tesla long-term, I think, Tesla and NVIDIA are going to be two of the largest companies in the world, in my opinion, just solely because of AI and robotics. But if you're talking right now, like my favorite Mag 7 to buy right now, I would say Google and Apple right now. The thing is with Apple, we just want to wait for this daily to flip, and then we're Gucci, right? And obviously you can wait also to establish a full position for the monthly BX to form a higher low. But Apple and Google have great risk reward, you know. You just got to be prepared with Apple and scaling slow because there's a lot of negativity. But usually negativity in the news often signals a near-term bottom. And if Apple does come and retest these lows here at 192 and goes into the 180s, that would be incredibly, you know, I can't even think of the word. That would just be an incredible opportunity. So, but yeah, like I said, took some L's this week, kind of bummed out. Gotta kind of just reset my brain. It's just a reminder, you know, like nobody is fucking, even the best traders in the world, they all lose. Biggest mistake I didn't know when I started investing, the 200 daily moving average, I assume. Well, yeah, I mean, Warren Buffett for a reason, right? The guy's outperforming SPY and everything else. I mean, if we go to Berkshire A just for the culture, right? Oh, that's not it. BRK A. So, obviously, I mean, come on, guys. From 1980, you're talking 500 a share to 700,000 fucking dollars. Like, it's literally insane. So, yeah, Berkshire, definitely a great investment long term. Obviously, don't buy Berkshire A, buy Berkshire B, because who the hell is going to buy this? Not me, I'll tell you that. But, yeah. Same thing with EC, Dow Jones as well. You should research what separates the Dow Jones between the Qs and the SPY and the IWM, the Russell 2000 small caps. You know, research these because you could diversify into some Dow Jones, some S&P, some Berkshire, and then some Mag 7s of your choice, or rotate in and out of them. You know, you could do something like that. But you're thinking very wisely. Good. Awesome. All right. Do you guys have anything else you want to take a look at? Just let me know. Palantir has been... It's just crazy. It's just so crazy, guys. It really is. Him still upsets me when I look at it because I literally called the bottom at $27 or $28 right here. It hurts, guys. It hurts. But what are you going to do? So HIM's daily chart, obviously still in this range, right? Weekly chart, kind of just flagging, but we're getting lower highs. So just keep an eye on the lower highs, guys. We got to close tomorrow stronger. Example to use it. Yes, of course. So, a long-term position, I would say, let's see. I mean, we could go to Tesla, I guess, right? So, I was selling it from 340 all the way up to 450 from November to December. And then we started to get the lower highs here. So I would say the monthly or the weekly jackals, you look here and look for the lower highs. You know. And then obviously once it flips completely red, you know you're getting the fuck out of there. So it's kind of an example there. But you could look at Meta as well. Similar situation. You could go to 2021 highs at the top here. The weekly BX started showing lower highs, higher lows, flipped red, and for a year, basically just chopped. And then we had some stability here, and then it broke again. And then it flipped again, and then it never looked back. From $80 all the way to $700 fucking dollars. So, I mean, you could look at the monthly as well. Just keep that in mind. But, I mean, a long-term position, you should be holding it, you know. Yeah, so continued lower highs, and you want to wait for the weekly close, obviously. And just like you want to wait for the 1 hour close or the daily close, because it's not official until it closes. Yeah, no, it's good, jackals, because you could even trim some, right? Maybe 30%, 25%, and then, you know, raise a little cash and rinse and repeat. So, yeah, that's pretty much everything I got for today. Just keep an eye out, guys, because this market is not easy to trade right now. It's just absolutely insane. So, I'll take a quick look at Bitcoin as well before we hop off. So, like I mentioned, Sunday, the daily BX starting to not look so good. Weekly as well. So, like you just asked, jackals right here. Bitcoin, not a good sign. So we'll see. We will see what happens. Obviously, we had a similar situation here, but Bitcoin's a lot stronger now. It's got all the big boys behind it. So we'll see. I appreciate you guys all stopping by. As always, love you all. Appreciate you taking the time, to come just talk, learn some things, and hear me rant and all that shit. So I appreciate you guys. Have a good night, and always remember, it's you versus yourself. You got to hold yourself accountable, whether that's exercise, just daily habits. Make sure you stick to your daily habits. Keep a purpose, because trading is 95% mental, and you have to be right up here. So I know I say it every week, but just make sure you're good up there. All right, I'll catch you guys later. Peace.